Welcome to 3-week workshop on programming in C++. In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of files. So I think maybe you know that. Normally, if you want to store any values for while during a calculation, or if you want to store a value while processing, so we need some amount of memory. But whenever you are going to process any information, sometimes we are expecting that the value which is stored inside of the memory is a permanent or maybe a temporary. But now values in a variable. So one is the scope of the variable, another one is called the limited storage. So if the program execution is over, once whatever the value is stored inside of the variable will be erased, so that we are unable to retain those value permanently. Only the temporary memory will be allocated. So only we can able to store only the small amount of, and also we can able to store only the small amount of data. For example, let us take one simple program. I'm not going to take a more complicated thing. Just I'm going to explain with the help of simple main program. That means by using simple main function. So let us to define one function here. Sorry, two variables. Just I'm going to say a and b. I'm going to read the value of a and b now. And I'm going to display the value of a and as well as b. But I don't want to do any calculation and all. Just I'm going to read and display. I don't want to make any application and all. Just for easy understanding, just I'm going to do. So enter the value. So now when the program is created, next I'm going to compile. So no error. So we know that it is a variable. The memory only allocated on a temporary memory location. So okay, so we know that only the memory allocated for this variable on temporary memory location. So that once the program execution is over, then we are unable to access it. So just I'm going to run it. So just I'm going to enter some value for A and B. So once the program execution is, for example, I'm going to enter 516. Once the program execution is over, even I'm not able to retain the value of A and B in the same memory location. So the value of this variable means the value of means that the scope of this variable only possible to extend up to end of this function execution. Once the end of the function execution is over, automatically the memory allocated for this A and B is A and B is erased. Means deallocated, so that we are unable to retain that value. So there is a one problem we have with along with the variable. So that means that the memory allocated for this variable only on a temporary memory, that is only allocated on a RAM. So that once the memory execution is over, automatically will be erased. One thing, and second thing, it takes only the two bytes. Means only we have it takes only the 4 bytes of memory will be allocated. Even if you are running any number of time, the program takes only the means that the memory only allocated as a 4 bytes for storing the values. So even we are unable to extend that value, so that the program gives only the limited amount of memory space for storing a value. So these are the two drawbacks we have for variables. So normally the variables have two drawbacks. One is it provides limited memory space, and second one, that lifetime of the variable is limited. That means the lifetime of variable only available only at the means that the availability of this function execution. Once the function execution is over, then automatically means the lifetime of only the function. So once the function execution is over, then automatically the lifetime of the variable is over. It means that we are unable to access the value of the variable which is defined inside of the function is not accessible. Maybe if it is an object, only the object memory location is allowed only for entire program execution. So these are the two drawbacks we have for the variable. But in some situation, we are able to you are able to store the value in a permanent memory, that is on secondary memory. So if you want to store the value in a secondary memory, the concept of variable is not possible to store. So in this situation, we need to look for a permanent memory. Then we need to find a solution to store the value in a permanent memory. So it is possible to use the concept of files. So before going for the file concept, just I want to know about why we need some amount of data in a future means for permanent memory. Let us take that. I think everyone's have an email account. So further, just wherever you are going to log in into that particular account, the username and password is validated, and it will be means that it gives the memory. It is data which is stored inside of the memory. So here, so if the name of your email ID and your password is temporarily stored only on the temporary memory, then it is very difficult to store it. It will be very difficult to log into another machine to work on it. So for this kind of application, means that if you want to store some information for a future, means for in a secondary memory. So in this situation, the concept of variable is not possible to store. So in this situation, we are going with the concept of file concept. By using the concept of file, we are trying to store the values in secondary memory, not in primary memory. So if you want to work on simpler concept, there are three preprocessor we must to know. One is called FStream, iStream, OStream files. So normally if you are using iStream, we know that it's a stream, it's a sequence of bytes supporting for the corresponding display devices. It may be input device or output device. iStream means that is called input stream. OStream means for output stream for output operation, and FStream for both input and output operation. So normally, so that's a hierarchy also we must to know about what is that. So that we know that these are the predefined classes. These are all predefined classes inside of inside of this directory, inside of your preprocessor. So the next thing is we must to know what is a file mode. Before that, I need to know about the opening a file content. Okay, so whenever you are going to process any file, there are 3 steps we need to perform. One is called open the file. It is very, very important. Next one, based on that, we are going to perform read and write operation. And at the end, you are going to close the file once the operation is over. But it's a default, even though if the file pointer is not closed, it will be closed. The file pointer will be closed to only at the end of the program execution. Okay, so if you want to opening a file, first of all, we must to create a corresponding operation, corresponding object. The next one is by using an object, we are going to open the file by using the file name and along with the modes. Okay, the first of all, we must to know what are the different kind of an operation is possible. So if I'm going to open a file, so this is the file content is already exists. So that if the file content already exists and I don't want to do any modification, just I want to read what is the content in the file, then it is called as read operation. I will repeat once again. There are three possible operations on file. One is called read, and second one is write, and third one is append. Append means we can able to perform both read and write operation. So if you are saying that the operation is a read, it means that the file content is already exists, and we are going to perform only read the content. You not possible to update anything. Then it is called as a read operation. Second one, it is a write operation. So write operation means that the fresh file, that it means the means that the content of the, we are going to write only on the content. We are unable to read it, but you can able to perform a write, and it is called as write operation. And third one is append operation. Append means we can perform both read and write operation. It is similar to C language. Okay. So now, if you want to perform only the read operation, we can go with iStream. If you want to perform only write operation, we can go with the OutStream. If you want to perform both read and write operation, we can go with FStream. Sorry, FStream, not FStream. Small correction. It is FStream. So by using FStream, you can perform both read and write operation. So these are the three processes. This stream concept will need to be supported to perform your file operations. Okay. So next one, I told that if you want to open a file, there are two arguments we need. First of all, we are going to create a means object for a stream. For example, it may be iStream or maybe a OStream or maybe HStream. Based on our purpose application, we can going to identify the corresponding stream object for the corresponding stream. So by using the name of the object of the stream and call the method open. So this is the open is a member function which is defined inside of your stream class. So then we have to define the file name. So here we know that there are two types of file path. So the file may be mentioned in the two. It may be a relative path. We know what is a relative path. So it is a relative path means that the file name and the source file name and that our file name means our processing file must be on same location, and maybe you can give an absolute path. So that is on our choices. So we can, I mean, so that absolute path means we need to locate from the drive itself. So that is a user programmer choices. We can define what is the kind of a path we are going to select. And third, next one is if you are going to create, I mean, so the file mode. So there's a file mode is a mandatory part for the F stream only. For I stream, it is a default, and for O stream and the I stream, it is a default. But for F stream, we need to explicitly state that. Okay, so the purpose of the file mode is we need to define that what is the process we are going to perform. Means that what is the operation we are going to perform. So normally these are the possible operation. If you are going to say ios.in, that is called input operation. Out means output operation. APP, that is called append operation. Means append only possible only at the end. 8, that means that you are going to move the control only at the end. Truncated means if the file is already there is some content in the file, then by using truncated mode, thus we can truncate the entire file content. Then if the file is not created, then we can create in that name. If it is no replace means that if the file is not exist, then create an error. Then if you want to open the file in binary mode, we can open the binary. So these are the possible options. Once the file mode is possible, actually in C we can use like R, W, and A like that. But here we need to use this modes for representation of your stream. So in some situation we need to combine this file mode. There is a possibility. We can discuss it later part. Okay, so now move on to the executions. Okay, assume that. So just I'm go with clear screen CLR. Okay, so now the structure is ready. Assume that I'm going to open a file in F stream. So that is for F stream. I'm going with I stream. We know that I stream means you are going to perform a read operation. So just we are going to create an object. We know that the class name space object name, it is a syntax. For example, my object name is obj. Now I'm going to compile it. Is there any error or not? So there is a error. It is not accessible. So normally that is called I stream. There is a problem in this I stream. If you are creating an object like that, it shows an error message. So better you can go with the F stream to process everything. So then there is no problem. So in that I'm going to create F stream object also if you want it. So if you want to create a stream, for example, I'm going to create a stream because it is support for the read and write operation, create an object for F stream. Okay, so now by using this object, we are going to point out the file. So obj dot, it is an object-oriented programming language, so that you have to access everything by using dot operator. Object name dot open. Open is a file. I mean, open is a member function of this F stream class. And here I'm going to specify that. Workshop.txt. So it will support only the TXT mode, or maybe means that it will support only that the basic application, means API programs. So for example, here I'm going to say that karthi.txt, and this is a F stream, so that we need to specify. We need to specify the method. Means that we need to specify the file mode. For example, I'm going to compile now. So that is a F stream will show the error message that there is a few parameter. So if you are creating an object for F stream, there are two arguments we need to specify for the member function for open. One is for file name, means a file path along with the file name. Here I use the relative path. Then followed by file mode. So that here I am going to open for out. So we know that what is out. We are going to open for out. I am going to read what is the content in the file. Clear? Okay. So now I am going to compile. There is no error, so that no problem. Just before that, we need to check it where is that file name exist or not. So that is a txt file I'm looking. So karthi.txt. There is no name. This is called karthi.txt in my location. So now there is a file is that I think in C language. I think everyone search that if you are going to perform any read operation, always we need to search that the file pointer equal to null. But here there is a function is called as is open, so that obj dot is open. Actually, this method is not supported in this compiler. So by using that function, you can test it, but actually here it is not supported. So that I don't want to search anything, means that I don't want to do anything now. So I will repeat once again. So obj.isOpen method is not supported here. So it's not a member, so that it is not supported here. So that I am not using it. Actually, it's supported on std. It means the namespace std, but actually namespace is not supported this Turbo-C compiler. So that assume means that I'm not going to test it here. But if you are working on that, just you can try with isOpen. Is_open. It is a method for testing whether the file is already existed or not. If it is already existed, this open method is returned. Is_open return true. There is a boolean. A return type is true or false. So normally it will be supported by using STL, but STL is not supported by in this Turbo-C. So that I don't want to mention here. I mean, I don't want to show it here. Okay. So now I'm going to open another one more new file. So I'm going to say that welcome to this. So 3-week workshop on programming in C++. I'm going to save it as karthik.txt. So karthik.txt. So this is a file. So karthik.txt is there. So now I'm going to read it. So now we are point outing. So that we know that if you want to perform any operation, that is called open a file and perform a read and write operation. And if perform the now the opening a file is okay. That is called output stream. So we know that output stream means that means that we are going to write something, but actually here open in write mode. Just I'm going to compile. No error. Just I'm going to run it, but here still now I didn't perform any task. So now I'm going to open file is called txt, that is called karthik.txt is now created. Now show it, see that nothing is there. So from that you can clearly understand that I think in C language you know that if you are opening a file in a read mode, means a write mode. I will repeat once again. So if you are opening, the condition is there, if you are opening the file in write mode, the file is created automatically if not exist. If exist, the file contains or truncated automatically. I think I think in the previous output maybe you understood that. So initially the file returns some content inside of the file name. So just I can show it once again. So I can open the file karthik.txt. So in the time hi, I'm going to say how are you, and I'm going to save it. Sorry. So I'm going to save it now. So now it's a save. So now I'm going to compile. No error. So we know that the karthik.txt file is already existed. So that if you are existed, then I told that it is the content of the file is truncated. See that it says that changes. It means that the changes need to be happen in this karthik.txt file. So now you can open and you can check it and just open karthik.txt file. So now the content is empty. So from that you clearly understand that. So if you are opening the file in a write mode, means that if the file is already exists, then the content of the file truncated automatically. If the file is not existed, it can create it automatically. That is not a problem. Okay. So here in the input stream, so we know that the same condition which is discussed in C language, the file must exist. The file must exist already. So then only we can able to perform it. Otherwise, isOpen method return false. I think you know what is isOpen. So further you need to test by using the logic. So in C language, we can use if the name of the file pointer equal to instead of that name of your file pointer dot, there is a member function that is called isOpen. In that you have to perform what is the operation you want. File exist category, and this is else for not exist category. It is a similar category, but here the isOpen method is not supported, so that you can work on other compiler, you can work on it. So now, just now, somewhat I have a clear idea now for iStream, but FStream also the same condition for iStream, because it perform both read and write operations, so that in the read condition, everything will be applicable. Okay, so now I have going to just okay. Now you have some idea about how the file modes are open. So next thing is just okay. Now open a file is over. So if you want to open a file, so there are two steps. One is we need to create an object, and we can open a file. I mean, open a mode in the corresponding file mode. So the file object is created. Then followed by we are going to open a file by using object the function name open. So that you have to see what is the name of the file you are going to open. Then followed by what is the mode you are going to open. If you are saying it is a in, you can say it is in. If you are opening a file in mode, it will not make any error message. Just I can see that, I can show it. Hi, how are you guys? How are you? So, welcome to this workshop. Okay, so now I save the file. Now I'm going to compile. So no error. So then I'm going, actually here I forgot to mention one thing. I opened the file in FStream mode, so that if I'm opening in FStream mode, it will means in default mode, it's both read and write operation. So here I opened, I mean in default read and write operation, but actually here I mention as IOS colon in, so that it means that it is one open only for read mode, so that the content is not erased. In case if I'm opening, I means that if I want to perform both read and write operation, I can combine. See that there is a concept I given is if I want to combine more than one modes, these are the possible modes in C++, so that if I want to combine more than one mode, I can use OR operator to combine. So, so that if I'm going to mention as IOS colon out, so the content will not be erased. Whenever you are going to open the mode in a read mode, the content will not be truncated, so the content is still there. Okay, so once okay, so now you have it means that our file pointer is created. So now file pointer is created and it pointed to the start file. Starting of the file, you can see that iOS. I'm opening in iOS out, means that it is append mode. So that we can perform both read and write operation, we must do the location of the file pointer is very, very important. So actually many of them think that the location of, they are not thinking about what is file pointer and all. So if you are saying a file pointer means that the pointer always to pointer to the corresponding location. So that means the location, the file pointer location is very, very important. So whenever you're opening in this mode, that means the file pointer is pointed to the starting of the file. Okay, so now I'm going to perform. So for example, I'm going to perform read operation in my concept. I'm going to perform a read operation. So we know that a read operation, or maybe there are three possible operations: read, write, and direct. And very, very important. Okay, first of all, I'm going to perform read operation. So there are three possible ways to perform a read operation. Either we can use single, means we are reading single character at a time. Next one, reading word by word. Reading word by word. So third one is reading line by line. So these are the three possibilities we have. So that if you are reading a character in a character by character, we can use a method is called as a get method by using object name. Object name of your stream dot get, so that we can able to read character by character. For reading by word, we can use this operator. It's that is called we know that what is the name of this operator. So by using this operator, is called by using insertion operator. So just we are going to read the content from the file and it will be returned. So that so here you need to say that what is the name of the object you are going to use, object name. Then here you are going to use the variable name, so that whatever you are going to read, it will be stored on this variable name. But actually, it is a word by word. And reading line by line, we are going to use object name dot get line. So here you are going to say in which variable you are going to store. That is a variable name. That is a string. So then you are going to say what is the size, how many number of characters you are going to read. But here you are going to say that it's a character variable. Or is it a character variable? So object name dot. So these are the three possible ways we can read. For example, now I will go with reading a character. Means I am going to read by using single character. So then I will go with the remaining things. Okay, so now I open it. So I am going to read a single character, so that I am going to store it and display. So character, I am going to A. Then I am going to say that A equal to, I am going to read from Karthi.txt, but from means now you are point outed by using this object, so that always you have to access by using the name of the object. So in C language, we can, if we are saying it is the name of the file pointer, but here we need to say it is the name of the object. So my object name is obj, that my function name is get. Now it's read off. By using cout, just I'm going to display what is the character I'm going to read. Means what is the character I read from the file. So now I'm going to compile. There is no error. So then I'm going to run it. It is H. First of all, I should know why it's come as H. Just I'm going to say open. So Karthik.txt, initially I told that always the pointer, whenever you are going to open the file in read mode, then always it will be pointed to on static. Clear? Okay, so means that it will be pointed on first one, so that I am going to read only character. So that it will read character. It will read character H. So that it will display H. For example, I'm going to read another one more characters. And another thing we know that, so whenever the particular character is read out, then automatically the file pointer move to the next location. No need to move by ourselves. There is no need for external process to move the file pointer to the next location. So for example, high is there, so that whenever the H is read by the file pointer, then it automatically moves to the next character. So that now it will be pointed to I. So then by using this function, I'm going to read a method the character H. Then automatically the pointer is moved to the next location. Next location character is I, so it will read I. So that this cout will display I. So now you can check in. I will be displayed. So now we are expecting that we need to repeat it until the end of the file will be reached. So in this situation, so we don't know how many number of characters we have, so that we must repeat these statements, so that we need to go for looping. You can prefer to go with while or do while or for, that is on your choice. Here I prefer to go with while. Okay. So here there is a function that is called as UIF. So normally in C++ we can use FUIF by the function, but here there is a member function that is called UIF. So it is a member function, so that we need to access object. So if it is not that, it will return -1, so that it is negative. I think you know how you are using negation operator. If the file is not in, it will return false, so that if the condition we want to repeat until we are not reached the end of the file, so that we can use negation. It means that we are going with the negation of the output. Now, so there is no error, just I'm going to run it. So whatever we have in the file content will be displayed as usual. So from that we are clearly understand that. So if you are reading a character by character, we can do that. So if you want to open another file, for example, I'm going to read it for another one more file. For example, I'm going to for write operation. So I'm going to open WR dot open. I'm going to say that I'm going to point out one thing. For example, here today is Wednesday, so I'm going to say Wednesday.txt, and I'm going to open in a write mode. So if I want to write it, the same thing. So here, same way for read operation, we are reading by character. So for a reading character, there is a method is called as a put method. So that is called object name dot put. Object name dot put, inside of it you are going to say the character variable. What is a character now? It means it will read only character by character. So there are different processes we have. Character by character, like means that so this is for character by character. For line by line, word by word, we can use extraction operator. I will repeat it once again. So either for word by word or character by line by line, we can use insertion operator. This is an insertion operator. Extraction operator we can use. That is called output, cout operator. Same thing. We need to overload this operator for process. So that here you can use object file name. That is object name. Then you are going to say in which variable or which content you are going to write. So this is the way. And normally this object is suitable for character also. Okay, for example, so here I need to write inside of a Wednesday. So that I'm going to use for insertion operator, that is called insertion operator. That means that insert in. Confusion, it is extraction operator. Just I can use to push it into that file. I'm going to write a character a variable. Means that whatever I read it, just I can record it into file. Before this, just I'm going to test it whether my Wednesday.txt file exists or not. Just I'm going to test it. Is there any file Wednesday? There is no file Wednesday is created. Okay, now I'm going to compile. I told that if you're opening a file in output mode, automatically it will be created. So now it's okay. Now I'm going to test it whether the file name Wednesday.txt is created or not. See that there is a file is created at Wednesday.txt. Just to open that, see that there is a content is copied as usual. So like this, we need to apply the concept of a character by character in C language, in C++. Okay, if for example, if you are not interested to go with a character by character, if you are interested to go with a line by line, in this situation, we can go with it's a word by word or maybe a line by line. We can go with a character array. So in this get method is not applicable. So that I can go with the concept of insertion. That is called extraction. That is called scene operator. So that my file, object name is obj. From obj only I have to read from the file which is pointed by obj. I want to read and I will store in A. So I'm going to compile. So no error. I'm going to run it. But here we know that this is a drawback for this input operator is once it read the space, then automatically the input will be terminated. So that there is no space will be created. Actually, it will read file. Just a minute, I can show it by using easy way. Just I'm going to compile. No error. Just I'm going to run it. Initially, it read high. Because after high, there is a space is there. Once the space is encountered, the read operation will be terminated because I'm going with the word by word. Then after that, it will read the next word that is called how. Then after that, it will the next word from the file R. Then next to you. Then next line, welcome to this workshop. So it will be read like this. So now we are going and check the concept of check the content of the file content Wednesday.txt. It will print like this. So if you are going to processing word by word, then if you are not, you should not write anything on that. If you do some writing on that, then automatically the file content will be changed. Sorry, means that if you go with the word by word, so that means that we are processing is possible, but we are unable to do other operations. So if you are processing character by character is the best way if you want to process like spaces and all. Okay, so this is a logic for reading word by word. And third one is we are everyone expecting that we are go with reading word, that is a word by word, then we are go with the getLine method. Just you can check it what is the syntax for getLine. Actually I have some confusion. So getLine method is So see that it means there is an optional one is the third one is optional. That is a default character. That means in which variable you are going to store and how many number of characters you are going to read it maximum. So that here I am going to define as a 10, so that I can able to read maximum 9 characters and plus 1, that is for 10th characters. So I'm going to install this. I'm going to say that object obj from the file object only I need to from karthi.txt I need to read. So it will be referenced by using the object obj. So obj dot get line. I'm going to read it from. So I'm going to store in the variable a and I'm going to read maximum 9 characters from a file. Now there is no error. So that normally in the default, once the slash n is encountered, then it will read until it reaches the end of the line, or otherwise read to maximum 9 characters. So according to the file content, so my input file is karthi.txt. So this is the file is processed so that I can read 9 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that it will read up to R. Then again for the next iteration, it starts E 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only it reads 6 characters. So like that it will work. So sorry. So now I'm going to compile. I'm going to run it. I'm going to compile. No error. I'm going to run it. Sorry, I forgot to count space also. You welcome to this workshop. So like that it will read. So sorry, including the null characters will be outed, so that here we can specify the maximum 10 characters. So 9 characters plus 1. So that it will be read 9 characters. So I will repeat once again. Actually, if you are saying a 9, it means that it will read 8 characters plus 1 space for allocating a null character. So that here I am specifying the size of my memory allocation is 10, so that I can go with like this. So this is the way we are going to process. So reading is not a problem, means writing is not an issue. Whenever the slash n is encountered, the slash n also will be encountered. If you want, you can check it. So file open, then we can check wednesday.txt. It will read like this. So if you are processing, then always try to understand that if you want to processing a file, it's very, very important. Either you can go with word by word or line by line, whatever may be, but you can go read a line proper way to that. Once at the end, so now that it's over, so normally once the process is over, then we need to automatically it will be closed at the end. But if you want to close it, once the operation is finished, then you can call the method to close and you can finish. So there are 2 files are there, so that we need to close all those 2 objects. But it is at the end, in defaultly it will close that. So normally the name of the object name dot close. It will call the method close method to close the files. And the next thing is okay. So now you have a clear idea about how we are processing it. So and the deducting end of the file by we are using that member function is called as UOF method. So object name dot UOF. UOF is a member function. So for deducting end of the file, if the file pointer not in the end, we can means not in the end, we can how to say that not in the end it returns false. So that we need to go with the reverse that so that we can do. So we know that there are two types of operations are possible. So there are 2 possible types of operation is possible. One is sequential operation. So reading every character once, and third with second one is sequential operation, that is called sequential access, but the reading the content of the file, and second one is called as a random access. So for a random access, we need to reposition the position of file pointer. So for that we need to use for reposition, there are if it is an input pointer we can use seekg, but if it is an output pointer we can say it is seekp. So if it is a seekg this is a pointer, so by using the name of the pointer object dot, you are going to move how many number of bytes we need to move, and you need to identify what is the reference position. It is called as a seek pointer in C. That is a similar here. There are 2 pointers here. Okay. So this assume this is an input pointer. So just I can clearly to mention it. So assume this is input and this is output. Okay, I don't want to go like that and all. Just what I need to do is I'm going to read character by character. So if I go to character by character, it must be in a character operation. And I'm going to remove this line by line also for writing character also. But here I'm going to move a pointer. I'm going to move a file pointer to the specific location. So obj clear. So seek G because it is an input stream, so that I can do it input stream that is called seek G. I'm going to move 2 pointers from the current position. Actually, I want to repeat. I forgot to say about this. Actually, so there are 2 arguments we need to specify. One is called the reference position. Another one is called as number of bytes you are going to move. Actually, there are 3 reference position. Actually, in C language, I'm talking about C. So seek begin. So normally we can mention as 0, and it will be represented by 1, and it will be end, seek end. So that is called 2. If you want, I can easy to mention it. Actually, I am unable to recollect it, so that I can go with the seek. So seek that, yeah. So these are the 3 possible pointers. That is called seek set. Seek set means always indicate the starting position. From beginning, you are going to move. From the current position you want to move means seek underscore CUR. If the end, if you want, we can show with seek underscore end. So I can change it here. Not a beginning, it is a seek set. In C, I am talking about in C language. So one that is called SEK, that is called, it indicates a current position, or otherwise we can use 1, or otherwise we can use seek underscore end. So these are the constants normally used in C language for indicating the reference position. But here it is not like that. Here we can use that is called this iOS begin for indicating from the beginning, and from current position, and from end. So if you want to move to the beginning, I mean, I want to move from the current location. See that how it will work. So here I'm going to use getCH just to indicate how it will read. Here I read only character by character. So I'm going to run it. First it will read H. Then again I told that I want to move the file pointer to the 2 position. This is something you are going to read it. I will explain what it is, how it will work. Actually the file content is, so my input file is a karthi.txt. This is my input file. So initially I told that it is a pointer to only the starting. So that so H will be read because it's a reading a character. Then I need to move the file pointer to the 2 position, so that it will skip 2 points. So 1 to the current position plus 2 I space. And we can run it once again. Sorry, I'm going to run it once again. Okay. Again, there are 2 bytes are skipped, so that I and space will be skipped. Then it will go for the next 2 bytes, so that it moves to H. Actually, I space how, so that H is read out. So automatically the current means that the file pointer is moved to pointer to I. From the current position, I need to move the 2 bytes. So that I and space is moved. Then means it's skipped. Then now the current pointer is pointed to H. From the means once it reads H, it moves to the next one. O W means O. Now it pointed to O, but whenever you are going to seek G's, then it means that it moves to the 2 bytes. O, then O and W skipped, again it read a space. See that the space is displayed. Then followed by after the space, hi, how, or, you. So that now after reading a space, it pointer move to the A, so that A and R will be skipped and it will be printed E. So after E, that is now it pointed to the space. And then I will need to, from the space, I need to skip 2 positions. So space and U, Y will be skipped. So now it will print O. Then U and space. So like that, it will be executed. So I think you know how it will be executed. So if you are saying a beginning, so that always it will read only 1 character, so that your program go for infinite process. Okay, if you are going to say end, now you have to say how it will work. So just a minute. It means if you are saying it is an end, so from end it goes to the end and you will read only the 2 characters. I will just a minute. I can show it once again. So space. So it will means that from the end. From the end, so we need to read the 2 characters. Means we need to move the 2 positions. Just a minute. I can save it. So I'm going to run it. As usual, it will read H. Then after that, I'm going to move the file pointer to the 2 bytes from the end. That's all. So actually, we have to specify -2. But it is still infinite process because it's a number of processes minus. So that I need to terminate it. So this is the way we have to process the concept of files in C. So now you have some idea about C programming. I mean that processing a file content. Thank you.